Today we're going to talk about dividing decimals. I want to divide 6.5 by 1.5. Before I can do that, I need to take my divisor, 1.5, and turn it into a standard number. So in order to turn my divisor 1.5 into a standard number, I will move my decimal place over. So now I will write 1.5 as 15. 15, and I'm going to divide 6.5 by 15. Since I moved my decimal point over one place in my divisor, then I have to move my decimal point over one place in my dividend. So I'm going to move my decimal point over, and 6.5 is now going to be written as 65. So I'm going to write 65, and I'm going to place my decimal point right here. Since I placed my decimal point here, my decimal point in my quotient is going to be placed right above it. So now I can go ahead and divide. How many 15s are in 65? 15 times 4 equals 60. 65 minus 60 equals 5 minus 0 is 5. But I don't just leave my 5 there and say, oh, my answer is 4, remainder 5. No, because I'm dividing decimals, I'm going to put a 0 in front of the 5. 5 now becomes 50. Now my question is, how many 15s are in 50? 15 times 3 equals 45. Now I'm going to subtract 45 from 50. I'm looking at my numbers and I notice that is, my 0 is less than 5, so I can't take away 5 from it. So what I have to do is borrow from my tens place. So I'm going to borrow 1. And since I took a 1 away from 5, 5 now becomes a 4. 10 minus 5 is 5. 4 minus 4 is 0, but I don't write a 0 right there. So now I need to add a 0 in front of my 5. Do you notice that there's a pattern taking place? So if I divide 50 by 15, how many 15s are in 50? 15 times 3 is 45. So I have the same thing here that I have here. That's called a repeating pattern. When you get a repeating pattern when you're dividing decimals, you can stop because the same thing will keep happening over and over and over again. If I subtract 50 minus 45, I'm going to have 5, and it just keeps repeating. So I'm done dividing. I don't divide anymore. So now when I look at my number, I notice that I have 4 and 33 hundredths as my quotient. So I'm going to write 4 and 33 hundredths as my answer. Now, if I want to find out if this quotient is correct, I can do a check. To do my check, I will multiply my quotient by my divisor. So now I'm going to multiply 4 and 33 hundredths by 1.5. So now I write it as 433. I take the decimal points away and just write it as a standard number multiplied by 15. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 3 is 15 plus this one is 16. 5 times 4 is 20 plus the 1 is 21. Since I already multiplied by the digit in the ones place, I'm going to write a 0 in the ones place. And if I multiply 433 by 1, it will be 433. Now I'm going to add 5 plus 0 is 5, 6 plus 3 is 9, 1 plus 3 is 4, 2 plus 4 is 6. I have 1, 2, 3 digits behind the decimal point. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 and place my decimal point. 6.495 can be written as 6.5. So I know that my check is correct.